Meanwhile, an overly serious documentary-style narrator announces that Buttonopolis has enjoyed 300 years of peace and quiet. Suddenly, Binkle trips over his own thread shadow and faceplants directly into Mayor Zipperton, a tall, nervous zipper who unzips and rezips himself whenever stressed. The mayor falls apart into two halves that continue arguing with each other about whose fault this is. Binkle apologizes loudly and promises to fix everything heroically, prompting the narrator to sigh audibly and say, "This is why we don't let buttons be heroes." Penny the pincushion, Binkle's best friend and emotional support, rolls in with her pins bristling like angry eyebrows and says, "Binkle, please tell me you didn't activate destiny again." Binkle replies, "Define activate," just as the sky rips open like bad stitching and a giant mechanical needle descends, stabbing into the center of town. The needle pins the mayor's office to the ground while alarms made of screaming kazoo noises blare, and the townsfolk panic in choreographed confusion. One guy calmly sets up a lemonade stand labeled "End of the World Sale" amidst the chaos. Lord Snap, a melodramatic snap fastener villain wearing a cape that's way too long and keeps getting caught indoors, appears atop the needle. He announces in a thunderous Shakespearean voice that Buttonopolis shall unravel by sundown because he is emotionally bored, then pauses to cough because he swallowed lint mid-monologue. Binkle gasps and declares, "This is my moment," striking a heroic pose that immediately collapses when a gust of wind flips him over like a coin. Penny drags him back upright and whispers, "Please don't talk." Professor Threadbeard, an ancient spool of thread with a beard made entirely of loose fibers, rambles on explaining that the town is held together by the sacred stitch core. He reveals the core has been removed and replaced with a novelty whoopee cushion that honks ominously every few seconds. The narrator shouts, "That is not supposed to honk," as the entire ground bounces like a trampoline, launching Binkle into the air. Time slows as Binkle delivers an overly long inspirational speech to a confused pigeon wearing pants. Binkle crashes through 5 awnings, a bakery, and a yoga class chanting, "Oh no," before landing back in the square. Penny announces the only way to save the town is to retrieve the Stitch Core from Lord Snap's fortress of extremely unnecessary danger. Smash cut to the fortress labeled with neon arrows and a sign reading, "Danger. Very necessary, actually." The team assembles in a dramatic walking montage, interrupted by slow-moving turtles, a marching band practicing next door, and Binkle waving at the camera. The narrator threatens to quit as the team finally reaches the fortress, but is stopped by a guard who forgot all his riddles and instead asks, "What's your favorite soup?" Binkle confidently answers, "Confidence," letting them pass inside. Inside the fortress, chaos reigns as traps fail comedically. Spikes retract shyly, lava apologizes before bubbling, and Lord Snap delivers another dramatic speech. The villain's cape again gets caught in a door, causing an awkward pause in his speech. Binkle and Penny exchange a glance, knowing the fate of Buttonopolis depends on their next move. The team carefully navigates the fortress's winding corridors, dodging traps that comically malfunction at every turn. Professor Threadbeard explains the importance of the Sacred Stitch Core, emphasizing that it symbolizes the unity and resilience of Buttonopolis. Binkle reflects briefly on his own flaws, realizing that confidence alone isn't enough to be a hero. Penny nods encouragingly, reminding Binkle that true heroism comes from heart and friendship. Together, they reach the chamber where the Sacred Stitch Core is held, guarded by a final comically ineffective trap. Binkle carefully retrieves the Sacred Stitch Core, feeling its warmth and power pulse through him. Suddenly, Lord Snap attempts one last dramatic attack, but his cape once again betrays him, causing him to stumble. Binkle and Penny seize the moment, escaping the fortress with the Stitch Core in hand. Outside, the townsfolk watch anxiously as the ground begins to stabilize and the alarms quiet down. Binkle places the Sacred Stitch Core back in its rightful place, and a warm golden light spreads through the town. The buildings seem to stitch themselves tighter, the clouds fluff back into place, and the sun squeaks softly as it rises once more. Mayor Zipperton reassembles himself, nervously zipping and re-zipping, but now with a small smile. Binkle and Penny share a quiet moment, knowing their friendship was the true thread holding Buttonopolis together. The narrator sighs one last time. Maybe buttons can be heroes after all, as the camera pulls back to reveal the peaceful town bathed in golden light. End credits roll over a final shot of Binkle tripping comically, but catching himself with a grin. A brief post-credit scene shows Lord Snap stuck in a door, struggling with his cape once again. The townsfolk resume their daily lives, some still holding signs, but now with hopeful smiles. The lemonade stand remains, now with a sign reading, "New Beginnings Sale." The sun continues to squeak softly, a reminder that even in a stitched-together world, joy and whimsy endure. Fade out on the peaceful town square, alive with stitched textures and vibrant life. A final note from the narrator. Sometimes the smallest threads hold the greatest strength. End of story.